So a number of years ago, I was camping out in the book of Jeremiah, and I noticed that there was a familiar phrase that was continually coming up again and again, and it was a question that where God would ask Jeremiah, "Son of man, what do you see?" A lot of times, what he saw was just real simple things in plain sight, like a tree or a field or a potter's wheel or something else. And then God would use that very simple, plain thing, almost like a parable, and tell Jeremiah what he needed to know. Son of man, what do you see? And so I was contemplating this question that God would ask, Son of man, what do you see? And I tried putting it into practice in my own life at the time. Right about then, Marcy and I took a trip to Edmonton to see some family. And on the drive, I noticed that there was an unusual amount of trains. Everywhere you turned where you could run parallel with a train, there was a train. Everywhere you looked at times when a train could be seen, there was a train. And it was sort of like one of those things where I don't know if it's serendipity or something like that, where you keep seeing it over and over again. And so it was highlighted to me and it seemed strange, seemed more than usual. And I was drawn aside like Moses was to think about it when he saw the bush. Um, and well, it just seemed like every time there could be a train seen, there was a train. And so Marcy and I got to talking about it. It seemed that, okay, God's highlighting the word train to us. As we talked more about it, it became more clear that he was actually maybe highlighting the word training to us. And as we thought about it, we thought, you know what? That's the season we're in. We're in a season of training. And it was like, that's interesting. We felt, well, we were to, in every moment on this trip particularly, be listening for the voice of the Holy Spirit, to be speaking into our visit even, or even our time there. Every decision, uh, every at every turn, like whether the decision was big or small, at every moment we should be trying to pay attention to hear what the Spirit of God was saying. Well, we went through our weekend visit with our family, and there wasn't anything sort of special, no incidents, no God stories, etc. And as we pulled out of Edmonton, sure enough, I again noted there's a train. This time it was coming in an opposite direction. But nearing Edson, I distinctly heard a siren. And so that, as it does, it pops up your awareness. You're looking around, seeing if there's an emergency vehicle, you need to pull over or whatever. I'm expecting to see one. I didn't see one at all. Nothing. So I just dismissed it, carried on. On a particular straight stretch, just where the national park boundaries begin, the speed limit changed, but for whatever reason, I didn't see that. I didn't notice. And so then I did notice an RCMP cruiser coming toward me, and I gave him the nod, as I generally do to RCMP officers, or, a little wave. And look in my rearview mirror and see lights flash up, blue, and he does a U-turn. He's coming after me, or he's coming to get by me. So I pull over, and sure enough, he pulls me over and explains that the boundaries of the park also bring a new speed limit change. And I apparently missed that. And I was going 20 kilometers over the posted limit. I said, I thanked him for doing his job. He said, well, have a good day. Here you go. Here's your ticket. And I sat there for a moment, just sort of staring ahead. And Marcy was looking at me. And just then, a train comes by. Marcy says, training. I said, actually, I think you're right. Because thinking back, I distinctly heard a siren, and I mentioned it to you. Do you hear siren? I heard a siren, but then I dismissed it. Now, that could have been a siren, a real siren, off on a side road or something I missed. Or could it be that the Lord was giving me an indication of a police emergency vehicle? Pay attention to your speed, to everything. and I just missed it? Had I been paying attention, I would not have had a more costlier lesson. Son of man, what do you see? Can God use everyday things in life to speak to us? Of course he can. Our job is to be paying attention, listening, heeding his words. He speaks tenderly to us. I remember when our elders went on a retreat one time, and we took some time alone aside from each other, just 15, 20 minutes, just go for a walk and see if God speaks to you. One of the guys came back and he said, I got nothing. I can never do this. I can't hear like that. Another person said, whoa, this eagle came by and I just felt the Lord saying, like we need to fly like eagles and, a number of things. And then the first guy said, so when is an eagle like just an eagle? And there was silence for a bit. And I remember what I said. I said, when is an eagle not an eagle or not just an eagle? Is when the Lord is speaking. He knows how to speak to each of us. To some, an eagle means something. To others, it's just another bird. Or like in a dream, where a dog in a dream could be a person's best friend. That's what it represents. Or it could be somebody's worst nightmare. So it really depends on the person. But God knows how to speak to us using plain, everyday things. The question is, son of man or daughter of Eve, what do you see?